Hey guys, so it's been a long time since I made any videos whatsoever. No videos on Japan, no videos on singing, no nothing. But you know, I feel really bad, and my email is up to like 800 unread messages, and I'm so sorry. I'm actually really sorry. But today I'm going to be doing a question and answer video, answering all the questions that you guys have for me. So I've been receiving tons and tons of messages regarding exchange to Japan, like how long, which company, how much, which school, etc, and it's just like I've been replying to them one by one, but it just gets really repetitive and it's very hard for me to answer the same questions like a gazillion times. So I'm just gonna do it once and for all now. Okay, so the first question that people usually ask me is which company did I go on exchange with? Okay, so the company which I've been on exchange with is AFS, which is a private exchange company that does exchanges around all over the world for different countries, and you have people coming from Denmark to Japan, Malaysia, Hong Kong, China is Hong Kong, I don't know, Australia, America, Sweden, Mexico. So there's tons of these places. So what you do is you go on the internet and you find out information on the types of programs they have for you. So like they have the semester one, the 1 semester, 2 semesters, or like the 3-week intensive course kind of thing. So there's tons of programs up there on the net. So if you just go and have a search on their website, and you get lots of information, and you just follow the instructions on the website, which is what I did, and just apply. Just a bit more information for you guys. There are other exchange companies such as reiiii, JFIE, or AIIU, which is the same, or EF. And then if maybe you're an older like university graduate or something, you might look into JetWA, which is like sort of like English teaching in Japan, but you get to do like a 1-year or 2-year semester, 2-year duration. I'm not really sure how that one goes. I didn't personally go on that yet. I'm still at university, college. So yeah, that's that. So which part of Japan did I go? Can you choose the place you go to? Can you choose the school you go to? Can you choose your host family? I would say you probably can't. I didn't get to choose my family, the place that I lived. I was allocated it, and I was just lucky enough to be allocated to Gunma, which is 2.5 hours away from Tokyo. So it wasn't too far from the city. If I really wanted to go to the city, I can still go, kind of thing. And it wasn't too country-like, so it was just in the middle, nice, not too busy, not too quiet. So I was at Gunma, and the school I went to was called Niijima Gakuen. It is a private school. It's a Protestant school, so it's very religious, but it is the best school. It's the best school. I don't regret. There's nothing I complain about. It's the best school. So you can't choose any of these, so your exchange company will allocate you accordingly to the availability of the host schools, host families, and such as that. So yeah. So how long did I go for? I went for the full year, which is only about like pretty much 11 months or so, 10-11 months. It's good. I would recommend for people who are going on exchanges to go for a year, because that's when you really kind of experience the whole package. So like if you're there to learn the language, maybe about the 6-month point, you'll kind of grasp the language, but after that you need time to practice the language. So yeah, I kind of did that. Like I learned the language, like studied really hard, and then after that you get to practice the language. That's where when it's most useful. So always I'd recommend a year, but 6 months is also good. 3 months is also 3 months is good too. So yeah, just go on some sort of exchange. I really recommend it, but a year is definitely the thing to go. Then you can like build friendships and build relationships with the people in Japan and your host family, and it's like a lifetime thing. If you go for 3 months kind of thing, the relationships aren't as strong kind of thing. Anyways, yeah, so how long did I learn Japanese for before going to Japan? I think I learned Japanese for about 2 years when I went to Japan, before I went to Japan. And it's always good to have a basic the grammatics, my English. It's always good to have some sort of basic fundamentals of the language before you go to a country. For me, cause I learned a bit before I went to Japan, it was good because I could straight away like use the things that I learned and try to like dig inside my brain to what I learned and kind of use it during exchange. It's harder. It's not as easy as you think to learn a language. People usually think, oh, I'm going to go to a country for a year and I'm just going to become fluent. It's actually doesn't happen. There are exchange students who go to Japan for a full year and they just don't grasp the language at all, so they come back with zero skills. So it's very important that you use the opportunity in Japan to study hard for your language, because you don't want to come back and not know the language at all. You want to have some sort of, you want to make use of your trip there, and it's up to you. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to learn Japanese naturally because I'm in Japan. No, I don't think it's gonna happen. Okay, I'm getting off track, but no, you don't need any Japanese competence before going. The exchange company don't have that as a requirement. Well, at least mine didn't. And but I always recommend you to have some sort of basic understanding of the language before going, so you can actually enhance your learning when you're in Japan. Okay. So exams. Okay. Do I need to be like a top student? Do I need some sort of grades to get into exchange? For me, no. I'm part of AFS Australia, and all I needed to do was apply, and my grades didn't really matter. Not that I had bad grades, but I think it didn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. And yeah, but it's always good to have some sort of good grades. It makes your application more attractive, and I think in my application I had to get some like referees from the teachers. So it's always good to have good relationships with your teachers, so they actually write a good report for you during for your application. I'm so thirsty. So I just applied and I got it. I think, okay, what I did was go on exchange after I graduated high school. So I think I started applying before graduation, before my exams, maybe in about, I don't know, August, October, September, October, around that area, like before the end of the year. And I only got information on my host family like a month before I was taken off to Japan. So it is quite a long process, and you do have to get tons of applications, application forms filled in, like medical forms and etc. Tons. Okay. Oh, how much did it cost? I paid AFS 11,000 Australian. Yeah, and extra fees, like application fees, maybe another 500 or something. And in addition to that, I think I spent another 10,000. I'm a bit of a spender in Japan for my own pocket money, like just daily stuff like food and clothes, shopping, entertainment, things you want to do with your friends. You got to pay for yourself. So I think another 10,000 for that. So all in all, it's about, I don't know, 20,000+. So it is quite a expensive trip. So you guys do have to prepare. I actually worked really hard before I went to Japan, part-time every day, morning till night, just kept working and just saved up, and that's the only way. Yeah, I guess. Or ask your parents for help. Anyways, Okay, I'm sure, okay, going on exchange is a really big decision to make. You gotta worry about your parents, you gotta worry about money, you gotta worry about your studies. You know, the best way to do it, I think, is if you can, if you're still under the age limit, go after your high school, which is what I did, which is what I'd personally recommend you, because then it is then that you can actually be free to enjoy and not worry about your studies. I had some other exchange student friends, and they went in the middle of the high school, so they had to do like online homework and stuff like that, and they were always worrying about the school and their life back in their own country, which really isn't the best way to enjoy an exchange, I believe. I felt like because I went there after I graduated, I had more freedom to enjoy, and I was more carefree about things. So that's one way you can do it. So I didn't really have to catch up on my work. I didn't have to do any extra work. I didn't have to worry about any studies. So yeah, it was a good decision that I made, that my mom made actually, to allow me to go only after I graduated. My mom would have never let me go on exchange during high school. She's a very strict parent. She wouldn't have let me. But yeah, so that's one thing. That's one way of doing things. But of course, if you have the chance to go on exchange during your high school, please do so. I think it's a great idea, but you just gotta learn how to balance out your studies and your fun time in Japan. So yeah, it's another thing you guys gotta learn and just deal with it, I guess. I'm not really sure, but yeah. Okay, is it worth it? Definitely. I think it was probably the best experience of my life. I think in that 1 year, I think I made more friends there than in my life. You know, I learned lots of lifelong logic things. You know, I matured a lot. And you know, sometimes you go on exchange, you come back and all your friends are like still not thinking as maturely as you are, kind of thing. You feel like you've grown so much, you've seen so much more things than your friends did. Your friends have bad English, but yeah, it's really definitely really worth it, and yeah, it's definitely the right choice. But don't get me wrong, going on exchange is really hard. You have to like get used to the new culture, the new traditions. You gotta live in other people's privacy. It's very hard, but once you get used to it, you're gonna make the most. It's the best experience. It really, really is. Okay, so I think that's about it today. If there's any more questions, I'll try and answer them as much as I can. But for now, that's it. So stay tuned and thank you for watching. Bye bye.